What does it truly mean to serve? Is leadership about power or about responsibility? Welcome to Your Stewardship, a compelling new radio program that shines the spotlight on individuals in positions of service and the impact they've made or are still making on the people they serve. From public officials to community leaders, from the health sector to education and beyond, we ask the tough questions. Have they been accountable? Have they delivered? Have they truly served? This is more than just a conversation. It is a moment of reflection, transparency, and truth. Join us as we explore real stories, real challenges, and real outcomes, because stewardship is not just a title, it's a duty. Your stewardship, service, accountability, and impact.
Hello and welcome to Your Stewardship, the program where privilege meets accountability and where leadership is stripped of its titles to examine its true impact. I am Remy Allen. Today we are traversing the worlds of high-stakes media strategy, national politics, and traditional custodianship. Our guest is a man of many definitions. To the media world, is a pioneer of one of the foundational minds behind the iconic Ovation International magazine. In the political space, he is a fierce communication general, having served as the head of public relations for the Atiku Kowa Presidential Campaign Organization in 2023. To the historic town of Akungba Akoko in Ondo State, is a traditional pillar, the Akinrogun of the soil. Joining us today is a veteran journalist, international publicist, and communications strategist, Chief Akinrogun Alaba Yusuf. Chief, you have managed the images of presidents, of billionaires, and communities. The spotlight is on your stewardship. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm enjoying your beautiful voice. And thank you to the team.
Thank you very much. You know, many people know the public figure, but who is Chief Akinrogun Alaba Yusuf when the cameras are off, when you are not speaking for one political bigwig? What shaped the man before the titles?
Well, I can say Alaba Yusuf, minus the titles, minus publisher, minus mentor, minus author, minus trainer, minus any other thing. He's just a man that was properly brought up by his parents and a steward who has served under a lot of mentors, including our own father who turned 100 years ago. 100 years 2 weeks ago by Ruben Fashionati, who was my commissioner when I was a press officer to him in 1982, and I worked with other people too. So it's like a homecoming. 45 years ago, I was in Ondo State as a public servant. It's just me. I believe in one aspect of it that people don't know much about is contribution to charity. I'm a specialist in charity. I've done a lot of that, and I believe in using charity as a vehicle to return sanity to humanity.
All right, we'll get to all of that. But you rose from Akungba Akoko to national relevance. Looking back, what hardship most defined your worldview?
Well, I'm of dual background. I'm from Oka and Akungba. I was incidentally born in Ikare, so I can say I have multiple parents of birth. What defined me the most is that I'm the only surviving child of my mom. Though I have half brothers and sisters from my father's side. So I grew up living in a big house alone. So I learned to reason, to make my own friends with myself. And I'm never afraid of being alone. And it gives you the opportunity to think and rethink everything before going out. So I learned to, what do you call it, do things by myself most times. And I value friendship, but I'm also always very suspicious too.
Especially because you've been a loner from childhood. So, of course, you'd be suspicious
I
of
found books. I found books very
as your
interesting
companion.
because there were no TVs or anything where we were growing up. So the most important thing to me were books. Books, and I listen to a lot of elders when they talk. So I know a lot of stories. I love tradition. I love folklore. I love life, so to say.
All right, you have operated around powerful people for decades. How did you avoid becoming consumed by power and influence?
Well, uh, if you trace back, I did my secondary school in Oroke High School at Mumbai. My A levels at the sixth form that later became Ondo State School of Arts and Science, Ikare. Then after that, I joined the Ondo State Civil Service. Were recruited into the Information Ministry when Chief Atonde was the Chief Information Officer, and were groomed and sent. I think Chief Adegoke from Ondo was the Commissioner for Information. We were groomed and sent to ministries. I first of all worked in the Ministry of Employment, Establishment and Training, where I worked with the Commissioner Ilori, later Commissioner Ilori, later Commissioner Falodun, and later assigned to Fashion. It wasn't par that time, but I think it was around 56. So Chief Ruben Fashionati, and who was Commissioner for Finance. Then I was serving him same time with the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General, one Mr. Adelibigbe from Awo. So I grew up. You can imagine having the likes of Ajashin, the likes of the Adefaratis, who's an uncle, all of them. At that time, politicians live in their own houses. There was no big appetite for fraud. There was no big appetite for... People were talking about morals. We used to go to Ikenne, where you sit at the feet of the revered Chief Obafemi Awolowo, where they used to mark the files of governors as per performance on the cardinal points: education, rural integration, gainful employment, and others. So, and public health. So, from time, I found contentment in self. I managed to separate my need from my greed. So I tell people I'm a theoretician but not a politician. So, and that's where it stands. I can work with politicians without, yeah, you can work with people without getting, But nowadays I've met different layers of politicians now. Those of the Ajashin group, they are different. Then the level of some people that you can call political hijackers. Those where money now rules. So we talk about stomach infrastructure. I study philosophy of politics, where the philosopher king is supposed to be the thinking person. But today we're having men of appetite, and I don't get consumed by that because I'm not a man of money, but I'm a man of reputation. So, and if you don't have reputation, you cannot seek defamation.
So it's safe to say that you learned from the best, the moralists of the past.
Yeah, and that's why it is sad that instead of progressing, Nigeria is retrogressing politically. Sad to say.
All right, so you are described as a journalist, a strategist, a philanthropist, a publicist, and a traditional leader. Which of these identities truly defines you?
Because first and foremost, like I said, even before choosing a career in communication, already I had a mother who was a great storyteller. Same goes for my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And all the elders around us. So I like sitting at their feet. But nothing, I don't allow anything to bother me. I used to say it. Nothing bothers me. Nothing compresses nor impresses me. So it takes a lot. It's a level on the ladder of thinking to get to that level. If things are not working, I believe that we are alive to solve problems. So nothing. And I know that other glitters, they're not good. So, but that's what is lacking among even the so-called elite. Little thing here or there can change people's mind to become, you'll be wondering, is it the same person I knew yesterday? And that's why you have campaign of calumny against you, you have a pulling down syndrome, you have all sorts of things happening around, and it's not good, because it's not good for our system. It's not good for our development system, because when you crumble a temple that was built by someone, what happens? The next thing, community suffers for it. You know. So, but I feel that more of moral should be taught in schools, because it's when you go to kindergarten schools, you go to primary schools, they're changing the rules. For instance, we grew up to know that if somebody is having birthday or having a party, people contribute for that person. But now, it is now in schools, you see kids having birthday that they want to buy for the entire class. Strange. Very strange. You did not say somebody is graduating from kindergarten to primary school. It's strange. We know that a graduate in those days is somebody who went to university or polytechnic. So it's like we're turning the pyramid upside down, the pyramid of morals upside down. There's a lot to do.
You know, I quite agree with you taking it to school, because recent there was a story in the news that an SUG president who just won an election had 40 essays. 40. I mean, as an SUG president, you're already having array of people working for you. So I think actually we need to go to school and begin to teach morals as it should be.
Yeah, but you know that it should not be straight to you.
Okay.
I went to university during the time we talk about Ali must go, where people fight, protest over principle. And since the Ali must go, the military has succeeded. They succeeded in de-educating Nigerians. They infiltrated all the unions, the NAS, the NLC, the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NUJ. They started featuring their own, what they call it, where you see a son of a rich man or a senator or whatever you call them. So when you see the children, they will follow the trajectory of their parents. Some people are being sponsored with millions of naira to contest election in university, and some of them. That's why you see before. Originally, people used to protest using their brain. Students used to protest about things. I remember there was a particular protest we had in Unilag where we were giving sardine, and we rejected it because we said we were giving Polish frog. And we rejected 5,000 sardine for 5,000 students. We put them together because there was no meat. Today, if you throw a sardine in a university campus, 100 people will scramble for it. That's sad level.
Sad reality. All right, moving on. Critics sometimes say people close to power eventually become protectors of power rather than truth. Did your transition from journalism to political communication compromise journalistic objectivity?
In actual fact, the political commentating does not capture my career. I'm a public relations person.
Okay.
I'm a public relations expert, and I'm one of the elders in the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Actually, I was a co-chairman at the annual general meeting of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations FCT chapter last year. Um, a politician is different from, or a political scientist is different from a public relations person. A public relations person is to advise, to create understanding for mutual growth and national development. So what has happened is that I keep telling, I think it's part of our tradition to hero worship. I tell people that whoever hires me or hires my services, if the person can do the job, will not hire me. Because many of my colleagues, the way I talk to the so-called boss, they say, Oga, it's Oga you're talking to like that. I said, there's no Oga in this. The man hired me in order for me to advise him. I remember there was a time we were training the now presidential candidate of the NDC, Peter Obi. We were training him how to on a media interview. And he said he would not sit at the table at the head of the table, that he's our student. So, and I told him one thing, that you kept talking about Vietnam, Japan, China, Thailand, everything. You talk about all these things. And now you end it up with, but in your country, in your own country. And I said, so where are you from? Are you an alien that wants to govern some people? That people find it difficult to understand, to believe you. Because when you say in your country, you are saying you are no longer a Nigerian. So if you are not a Nigerian, how can you come and govern Nigeria? And the guy accepted. Say, I never saw it that way. So, but many people will not tell him such, because he was the vice presidential candidate. So many of my colleagues that are at the table will never say such a thing. And I said, it is my job to tell you the worst scenario. You not tell me, I'll show you the portals, no, you tell me how you patch them up. So it's when you don't know your job that you're scared. So I never get carried away by anything anybody says. Like I would say, mine is to give you the options. Yours is to take a decision. Because whenever politicians or the bosses create mess, it is you that you clear them with your bare hands. You know, many of our leaders never learn how to manage communication. They don't talk well, or they don't speak well.
All right, this takes me to the next question. You said you're a PRO, which makes you an image manager. You manage people's image, especially politicians in your case.
Reputations,
yes. It's not just politicians. Okay.
Yes. No.
All right. So now,
if you hire my services, I'm available.
I guess I can't pay your money.
I work with the likes of Kanu, but it's just that politicians are the one who make the news.
They make the news. So have you ever professionally defended a politician or public figure whose actions you privately disagree with, but you know this person, no biam, but because of the job, you need to manage the image? Has it ever happened to you?
Well, I work with a lot of people. We had difficult situations that you have to clear the mess. But that doesn't mean conviction to work with somebody who has a bad reputation. I don't do that. You see, Yorubas will tell you there's no way you walk that your head will not shake. Right? If the head shakes, doesn't mean, like when you tell me to adjust the camera so that I can fit into the middle. It's part of you can right size, you can downsize, you can do streamlining, all those are part of the job. Because politicians are quite busy people. Not even politicians, chief executives. Let's put it that way. Chief executive, because politicians are chief executives in their own
right,
in their own business. It's all business, and the corporate identity has to be separated from the personality of the person. But places where the two of them come together, where you have to be ahead of your brand. So for me as a person, I will not knowingly serve or offer services to someone who doesn't have reputation, because reputation begets reputation. You cannot take half and leave half. It's not done that way.
Many have alleged that it's becoming more and more difficult to defend politicians in Nigeria as they speak from both sides of their mouth. What say you, looking at the recent developments in our political space?
If you underscore what I said earlier on, that I'm coming from the age of the Ajashins, Chief Awolowo's, Chief Olabisi, late Chief Olabiso Gambanjos, and a lot of people, and the Fashoranti, late Chief Ade Farati, former governor. That type of politics is quite different from what we have now. I told you we're in the age of political hijackers, stomach infrastructure. I said so. And they said the hood does not make the monk. So most of the people who fight nowadays, because they use the word politicians, how many of them can even define political party? In those days, during the time of Unity Party of Nigeria, headed by Awolowo, and that of Nigerian National Party of Nigeria, NPN, headed by Chief Adisa Akiloye, Meredith Adisa Akiloye. Even though Shehu Shagari was the president, but he had to sit under, when they are holding meetings or party meetings, it was the party chairman. But nowadays, what do you get from the time of former President Olusegun Obasanjo? Both powers are arrogated, that the head of the chief executive becomes the leader of the party. But it's never like that. So, and you know what they say about power corrupts and absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
So now governor is the leader of the party. He now chooses who goes to. Look at what is happening in all the primaries. Most of the primaries they're doing now. Someone wins the election, they said they won at the local level. All politics is local. Somebody won at the local level, but they get to national and say we don't want him. It was not screened, it was not cleared, it was not. Do you understand? So, what impression are you giving the young ones? Or a situation where you say that you send a vigilator to schools that people should not, what do you call it? There should not be corruption in examination malpractices. But at the end of the day, you say you don't need certificate to become president or become governor. So that is critical irony or contradiction. What a contraption! That you went to school, they say you have to pass your exam, first class, this and that. How many first class people do you find in politics? Imagine if an Akinwumi Adesina, who has transformed Africa through the African Development Bank, decide to contest for presidency of Nigeria, he will not get 1,000 votes. Why? Because the people are now used to eating their future. If you give them 5,000 naira, they collect, even 500 naira, they collect. So, how many people want good governance? In a situation where somebody will pay 100 million to buy a form for a job that will give him 144 million naira in 4 years. So, and he wants to spend like 10 billion. So, what is that? That's preparation for corruption. It's just like incubator for corruption. So I don't think we are ready for politics, so to say. We're just grandstanding, and that's why the whole world laughs at us. I lived 3 years abroad, and I know what it means. But here they knocked us. Nobody, you declare public holiday because we are doing election. What are you doing? For what? For what? So it's a dangerous trend, and it's going to go worse because the young ones no longer. Look for how long they took history out of our curriculum. People no longer know how things used to be. So what we are doing now is very good to create that bridge that things were never like this before. Before, people, there was trust, but now nobody trusts anybody. There's no trust. There's no trust. Your paycheck cannot take you home anymore. So everybody has to be corrupt.
Everybody has to be corrupt.
Poverty has been weaponized in a way that people have to be subdued, that you cannot even speak up your mind. Because if you lose your job, you won't get another one. It's crazy.
Like you mentioned, the primaries that were being held recently, we heard where you the counting, it comes from 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden it moves to 1,000, and from there to 7,000 and all that. Anyway, let's move to your philanthropic gesture. That's your community development. You are celebrated for grassroots development and interventions in Akungba Akoko. Well, beyond goodwill and ceremonies, what measurable development can people physically point to and say that Chief Akinrogun Alaba Yusuf helped make this happen?
All right, it's not just in Akungba, let's not narrow it down to Akungba alone. I've done a lot for Kakoko as well. I told you I have dual background. First and foremost, in 2019, I tried to do a brand repositioning for the two communities, even in Barauke. I brought NTA International to do documentary, Our People, Our Culture, on Akungba, Oka, and Ibaraoke. And for 30 minutes, we projected the cultural heritage, ancestral belief, and to preserve and promote our people's culture and push that to the world. Aside from that, I'm the president of Okarufe Cultural Foundation, which is a federal government registered, CAC registered NGO that had about 750 elites of Oka worldwide in it. We introduced group life insurance for our people. We hosted, we participated in the hosting of Oni of Ife. We gave, we celebrated children, JAMB students who scored more than 300. We gave them money. We've done welfare scheme. We've done mega medical outreach all over the place. We provided solar light in the federal medical centers, the two federal medical centers in Oka. And even the palace, we put solar light. We installed solar light in the palace of the Olubaka of Oka. We sank boreholes in different parts of the community, and we've mentored a lot of people, help people to seek admission, help people to get jobs. We've done quite a few without thumping one's chest, without sounding modest. We've done a little bit. And I also belong to the Okarufe Leadership Association, which by August this year will have given bursary to 280 undergraduates from low-income homes. So okay. These are a few of the things that we've done.
All right, it's good to know that.
We normally, as usual, we serve as a counselor to advisor to these traditional rulers.
Okay, okay. All right. It's good to know that the festivals have brought about economic and development value.
I also registered the festivals with the National Council for Arts and Culture,
including the Akun Festival,
Akungba,
yes,
Akunde Festival,
yes,
and Okade festivals.
Okay. So, but then, how do you respond to young people who see cultural festivals as symbolic, while unemployment and insecurity remain unresolved? How do you respond to this?
Well, you see, two things. There are two different things. Sociocultural things are different from socioeconomic, though both affect same personality. In many homes, because as a result of modern or Pentecostal religious belief, culture and arts have been taken away. We've seen preachers who said that people should not keep artwork in their homes, that they attract witchcraft. We've seen the situation. Meanwhile, that is a whole economy on its own, a whole sector of an economy that employs a lot of people, you know. If pick Ojude Oba now, imagine the economic activities that will happen during Ojude Oba. you are talking billions. There's something. It depends on how people are able to link or what do you call it, cut their teeth into where it's relevant. Business is about you providing a service that is needed, and you're doing it well, and people will buy it. So if some people go there to whether you are artist or whatever you are, whatever job you do, if you make it relevant to the people doing the Ojudoba and it will enhance and advance the program, then you also make your money. So about the youth, our youth, like I said, it's unfortunate they are not learning from the best. They're learning from what they see. Now, people think more about money. Meanwhile, money is what money can buy. Money cannot buy life. Man makes money. Money does not make man. And it's a difficult precept to preach. Because now, the best of the worst of us are governing the best of us. And that's why there's no philosophy in our politics. Because politics takes a will. It's in charge of everything you have. Our money, our everything. Because how many professors can provide 10 million and discard it and go and buy form? And when you're dealing with people who are the second 11, when they play for your team, how would they win? So that is the level where we are. That's why you can see people counting and skipping and doing it. And people say it's as fun. And the people that being counted like that, nobody protested. Have you looked at that? Nobody protested.
So we're even being jumped.
It shows the connivance of everyone. It also shows that it could just jolly well be rent a crowd. All they are waiting for is the money to be paid after
their job is done.
That is it.
Okay.
So now when you look at that, and you now say we have 11 million, 12 million votes, we're registered, so where is the ID card? It's a shame. The way we are going, it is not good. But I believe it's a phase. It's a phase because strong parents most times produce weak children.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned the Ojudoba festival. In Ondo State, we have quite a lot of festivals. Like you rightly mentioned, the Akunde festival, the Oka, we have Igogo, we have the Mari, but none of these festivals have been able to meet up with that of Ojudoba, talking about the kind of economic value that it brings on board. What is responsible?
My dear sister, I created a borderless digital organization, NGO, whereby you use your phone like we're conversing. Whether you're in Australia, Liberia, Siberia, anywhere you are, you can connect, or Nigeria, you can connect. So far as you have your phone, you send your money, things could be done, you can monitor projects being done. But I know the difficulties of handling human beings. There are those who do not believe. They are not the one who, they are not the founders. They don't see the vision of, they hardly see what you are saying. Some people, once you create a platform, all they see is that they should go there and be talking about politicians. But now you are saying, let us put together what we have to do something. Let's contribute money. Let's look for sponsors. Many people will know. Some people who benefit from the idea, politicians give us money, they give us rice. The platform I created, Okarafe Cultural Foundation, has all the politicians in the community there, including Senator Borough. The king is there. Everybody is there. But in between, there are those who want to, because it's an NGO, you cannot go and be talking politics, you cannot be talking business. Where I say, just bring something, let's get sponsor. Most of the projects we did, many of our people do not believe in charity. They don't believe in charity, and they don't believe, they are too individualistic to believe in communal living.
It's about self.
And meanwhile, where you see the Jebus, what makes up Ojudoba tick is the Regberegbes. They have over 400 of them. The age grade, the groups, you see them wearing colorful clothes. And it's called healthy rivalry. They have healthy rivalry among themselves. But the rest of us, I think, in our own area, it's sad to say that I'm talking about Ondo State now. I recently came to Akure, and I said, I've not seen much development in Akure since the time I left. I haven't seen much. Like Obadeshida is still the same, the whole thing is still the same, like that. Because Ondo town is different. Even Ikare is different. So it has a lot to do with the people. It has to do with people because aura matters a lot. Your ambition matters a lot. How big can you dream? There are people you're talking to, you say, it's not possible. When you're in the midst of people who say it cannot be done, what Yorubas call Irewesi will come. You know? And because people fight to be small. Give it to the late Oba Diawujale. He sat for so long a time. You know, he was 25 when he was brought from UK to come and govern. He reshaped a lot of things. He stopped the idea of Ijebu this, Ijebu that. He said we are all Ijebu land. There's no Ijebu this way to Ijebu, Ijebu this and that. We are all Ijebu Alare. And that is it. Ojide Oba used to be a thing for Ijebu people. There was an Ijebu thing before. But now all the
Ijebus are involved.
Diaspora. Now, okay, and the boost to it, look at Globacom. And the Ijebu indigenous. Some people say I'm rich because of that. I won't be part of it. Look at the FCMB, the Shubabi Balogun group.
There's unity of purpose.
That is it.
That's what you're saying.
Now they have organization capacity that brought, you know, they be able to now place it side by side, like the Rio de Janeiro kind of a festival, like the Notting Hill festival in the UK, and all sorts of things. But when you have exposure, it is sad when you have exposure and you try to tell people this is the best way to go,
and they don't take it. I also want to take you up on what you said earlier. You said everybody has to be corrupt in Nigeria. Then, if we are all corrupt, who do we hold accountable? Or is corruption now our national identity?
Well, Nigeria is not a corrupt nation. Many Nigerians are. Because I told you we were in an era of political hijackers or hijacking. People have left the path of morals. And the system has become so weak. And they have used the system. Okay, how can you talk about election that you know that the rules will never be followed? Do you understand me?
Yeah.
For instance, you call me now. We agreed. You set up Zoom. I click to the Zoom. Here we are. So why is it that we cannot use our phone to make to do Google something? Why are we afraid? We drive cars that they drive in America. We use phone that they use in UK and everywhere. We use computer that they use in Australia. Why is it that when it comes to sanity, internet will not work? This one will not work because some people benefit from the chaos.
All right.
Imagine the shame of counting people and skipping them, and so it's a mockery of the whole thing.
Mockery indeed.
Those guys counting, they're people's husband, they're people's parents. So what do you expect their children to do?
All right, you many call you a mentor, but mentorship is easy to claim but hard to prove. Who are the younger leaders or professionals you can point to as products of your investment?
I have done many fields, and they call me Dada, not Daddy. Dada is Darda.
Okay, what's the difference between Dada and Daddy?
Daddy is the father, whether anointed or biological. That's a daddy. Dada, Darda, is a peer of wisdom, a reservoir of wisdom. Somebody, because I'm quite liberal. I listen to the young people a lot, and because people don't listen to them, and that's why the only thing I don't want, people should not lie to me. So I give you the freedom to just say anything you want to say. we discuss. Have people in the medical line have people in the medical line who are now abroad. I have a lot of people. I have people in journalism like Ado Adeboye. I have people in different places. Like I have people who are doing PhD here and there. I have a cardiologist in Cleveland, Ohio, where one of the hospitals that Michael Jackson was patronizing before he died. I have loads of people that I group, male and female, who are there, who are already doing well in the profession, and I offer free tutorial to
All
people
right. All right,
when it comes to my career.
that's
Yes.
good to know. That's good to know. You're listening or watching Your Stewardship on Orange 94.5 FM and OSRC Television, depending on which of our platforms you're on. I will now go on a quick break. When we return, the conversation continues. Please stay with us.
What does it truly mean to serve? Is leadership about power or about responsibility? Welcome to Your Stewardship, a compelling radio program that shines the spotlight on individuals in positions of service and the impact they've made or are still making on the people they serve.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, Your Stewardship is on Orange 94.5 FM, and you can listen to us live on Radio Garden. Follow us on our Facebook page, Orange 94.5 FM, on Instagram, Orange 94.5 FM, Akure, and on X at Orange 945 FM. And on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, Orange 94.5 FM. You can also watch us on our sister station channel, OSRC TV, on Facebook. Subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo, on YouTube, on Moreplace 720, Free TV 760. And our guest, Chief Akinrogun Alaba Yusuf, an international publicist and communication strategist, is still very much with us. Okay, let's go to politics. Let's look at your role in politics. You served in the communications structure of Atiku Abubakar's 2023 presidential campaign. Let me ask, why Atiku? What convinced you he was the right leader for Nigeria then, and do you still hold that belief?
Thank you very much. Before I joined Atiku Media Office, I was invited from the UK by the late former Aviation and Education Minister, Professor Boris Shade. We used to call him Oga Boris. I was invited to come and be the spokesman for one particular party called, newly registered party called PDM, People's Democratic Movement. I think His Excellency Atiku Abubakar has a hand in the formation of that party. So I came in and I took it from zero to the top level. I can't even remember the other party registered with the same time. I can't remember the name now. So I think it was 2014 that I was now told to join the Atiku Media Office. His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is someone I've known from afar, from the days of MQ Abiola, when he stepped down during the 1992-93 election, when he stepped down for Abiola. And I've seen as a Democrat. I've seen, I like to study people that I don't know. So I read a lot about people, I try to learn from people. And then I look at people who follow the people, this particular person. You know, Yorubas will tell you that somebody that wants to buy you clothes, you just check what the person is wearing. So when the likes of Professor Boris Shade, you can see them with the article, the likes of so many people, top people, respected people in the community follow him. I said, okay. So, and when I met with him, I realized that he's a man that gives you a job and allows you to do your job. And he allows you to criticize him. He's not a Baba Sokwe kind of person, no. And that's why, and when you wrong him, that's the one that's the scariest part of the whole thing, is that when you wrong him, he doesn't avenge. He will continue to love you. Some of the people that tried to even put him in jail, he allowed his son to marry the daughter of one of them. That's the kind of person I'm talking about. So then I found out that he was a loner like me. You understand me? And he grew his family to the point that Atiku's family is run by trust. Everybody is on salary. It's not the man dies and his family crumbles. No. He has over 30 children. You hardly can find anyone that strays. So, but what I'm saying, going to the idea, I'm still the head of public relations to Atiku, the Atiku Media Office.
Okay, but let me now tell you this. Your opinion, though.
His political philosophy is what attracts me. He went to court 14 times and won at the Supreme Court. Atiku was the one that saved what we enjoy today, that president cannot sack his vice, governor cannot sack his deputy, except through impeachment.
But many Nigerians feel politicians recycle themselves while citizens suffer. Why should Nigerians trust the political class like one that we're discussing now?
It's not that politicians recycle themselves alone. The fact is that how many Nigerians can risk their money at the end cash, and who has that money to go and throw around? It's like gambling. So, apart from that, who are the foot soldiers of these politicians? Are they not Nigerians? Those people being counted and who are not protesting, are they not Nigerians? Do you get? So, it's like the case of the chicken and the egg. Which comes first? Difficult to define. You know? So, when people say they suffer, when somebody gives you money and you want to vote for the wrong person because you are giving money to them, and you want the person that bribed you to come and serve you, how would the person serve you? You first want to go and recoup his money. That's the situation. And in politics, you say every profession is seen as a serious business, but politics is called a game. So what does it mean? What's a game? Could be a game of life, could be a game of death. So it's the reward and the risk, they are not equal.
All right. When stewardship is finally judged, what do you want history to say about Chief Akinrogun Alaba Yusuf?
Well, I remember asking the same question from Stella Basanjo. Our last interview in UK was with me, and I said, how would she like to be remembered? She said, well, that she came, she tried her best to impact society, and all the wrongs she committed, she owned up to them. And all the good belongs to society as a legacy. And I think I want to adopt that. That I tried my best to use charity and my knowledge to bring sanity to humanity. And I'll continue to do that till my last breath.
So what scares you most about Nigeria's future?
Of recent, I've stopped taking Nigeria into my sleep. Because, you see, people who live in Nigeria all their life, they may not find it difficult. But those of us who left Nigeria to go abroad, when we are living, we had another generation of people that we grew up with. We now travel abroad, saw life in a higher level. Now you come back here, if one is not careful, one will have issues with his mental health. Because if your house doesn't have solar, if the villa is on solar, so what do you expect of do you understand? There are so many things that are wrong. You can't go to hospital, you can't do, now you can't even buy food. No, it's all crazy.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Akinrogun Alaba Yusuf. Unfortunately, that's all draw the curtain on today's edition of your Stewardship. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
We thank you very much. Join us next week on Your Stewardship. Until then, remember, leadership is a temporary lease, but legacy is permanent. I'm your anchor, Remy Allen. My appreciation goes to the producer, Femi Ayekomlogmo, the associate producer, Obi Chuku Emeka Ote, and all other crew members who have, contributed in one way or the other to make this program a success. Until we meet again next week, it's bye-bye from me.